Shut up, you guys. I want to talk to you about Ponyo. After my last video, I was all set to do part 2 of my Ghibli journey. I was going to watch another 4 to 5 Ghibli films and talk to you guys about what the best and worst part of each one was. I was even going to wear a cute little red bow, Kiki style, and honestly, I probably still will because I'm going to look freaking adorable. Then, last week, I'm settling down to get my Ghibli on. I was gonna do Princess Mononoke, and then I decided I might be in the mood for something a little chiller. So I decided to watch Ponyo, which, to my knowledge, was a lighthearted children's film starring a goldfish. I was wrong. Or rather, the world was wrong. Ponyo is a terrifying movie that combines Cronenberg-esque body horror with the psychological thrills of M. Night Shyamalan. And the worst part is, as I delved into the fantastical world of Ghibli and got caught up in the joyous alternate reality of taking a nap on my best boy Totoro, none of you warned me. So here I am, warning future viewers of what is to come. Will my warning come too late? What with this film having been released 16 years ago? Perhaps, but I would not be able to sleep well knowing that I had not spread the truth to my 21 subscribers. So let's delve into the plot. This film begins deep under the inky carpet of death that makes up 2/3 of our planet, with an ocean wizard that looks like David Bowie if he hadn't slept for a month. As he surveys the ocean, Big Brother style, a goldfish emerges. A goldfish is perhaps a generous word because this little buddy fully has the face of a human, including a full head of red hair. It's kind of like those medieval tapestries of cats where their faces are just old men, except it's the head of a child and the body of a pillowcase. This so-called fish leaves its siblings, who are just miniature clones of it, and escapes the watchful eye of David Bowie to head to the surface. Because this is a Ghibli movie, the fish is taken in by an adorable child with minimal parental supervision. And of course, it immediately falls in love with this 3-year-old. Meanwhile, David Bowie emerges from the waves and delivers this double whammy of a line. He says, "Oh no, the humans have captured my daughter," which is how we learn that this wizard is the father of this 1-inch goldfish, and also that David Bowie is played by Liam Neeson. So basically, Liam Neeson's daughter has been taken again. So this boy Sasuke is showing off his new goldfish, and no one seems to notice that she's got a full-on human face, except for this one crotchety old woman who says, "Hey, this fish has a human face, and that obviously means tsunamis are gonna happen." And everyone ignores her because God forbid women have opinions. Soon, David Bowie retrieves his daughter, as Liam Neeson is wont to do, but she is too lost in the human sauce. She refuses to answer to her given name, Roomhilda, which, honestly, fair. She's decided that she's just going to become human. So she starts to grow feet. And these feet are full-on chicken feet. Then she decides she needs arms. And these arms are full-on chicken feet. Then she summons unto herself the third most important part of human physiognomy, teeth. And this is accompanied by her hundreds of clone/siblings chanting, "Teeth, teeth, teeth!" How did she summon the powers to alter herself so, you might ask? Well, earlier in the film, she consumed human blood. Do you see what I'm saying about body horror? Now our chicken fish vampire child has to find the child that she has imprinted on. The problem is the tsunami that this film's rude grandma has predicted is now in full effect. So as the populace of this village is attempting to save themselves from a watery death, including Sasuke and his mother, who is Tina Fey, Ponyo joyfully emerges from the waves accompanied by her siblings who transform themselves into giant trout. Sosuke's father and many other fishermen are almost murdered by these giant house-sized trouts that are mistaken for waves, and Tina Fey is attempting to outrun these elemental monstrosities to save her son, and you see Ponyo, the chicken child, running over the top of these wave children to catch her preschool heartthrob. It's like an element of the Twilight Zone meets a Far Side cartoon. Sosuke and Ponyo reunite, and Tina Fey is honestly pretty cool with it. She introduces Ponyo to instant ramen, which is truly a magic unto itself. But in the morning, when she has to return to the senior residence where she works to help all the rude grandmas, this prepubescent couple find themselves alone in a village completely submerged by water. As they make their way to find Tina Fey and encounter several village folk who are just pretty cool with everything they've ever known being underwater, David Bowie Liam Neeson calls up his ex. Raise your hand if you've ever played Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild. I haven't, but my roommate Brett has. I know I've gone an unusually long time before mentioning my roommate Brett. I even brought up Liam Neeson without mentioning how Brett once thought that he was the star of Die Hard, and his famous catchphrase was, "Cowabunga, bitches!" In Breath of the Wild, there's a giant drag queen fairy who lives in the earth and gives Link upgrades via unwanted sexual advancements. Ponyo's mother is this fairy's water equivalent, with less harassment, but potentially more bloodlust. Ponyo's parents discuss how Ponyo flitting between the ocean and land has caused nature to become unbalanced and the world as we know it to potentially reach its end. So giant ocean fairy mom suggests that Ponyo be allowed to become fully human, but this can only happen through a test of true love between these two 3-year-olds. David Bowie Liam Neeson points out that if Sosuke can't prove he truly loves Ponyo, Ponyo will become sea foam. You know, that hardcore fairy tale shit Disney was too cowardly to put in The Little Mermaid. Giant ocean fairy mom just shrugs and says, "Everyone's sea foam in the end." And then Nietzsche clapped. For the rest of the film, you as a viewer are just very nervous about what they're going to put poor Sosuke through, and no one else is, except for Rude Grandma. She knows a sketchy David Bowie when she sees one. She's watched Labyrinth. But in the end, this grand test of true love is just the equivalent of that eternal TikTok question, would you still love me if I was a worm? After Sosuke assures all these immortal beings that yes, he loves Ponyo in all her different forms, because why else would a preschooler say anything different about his girlfriend/pet goldfish, Ponyo is allowed to permanently become a human and live with Sosuke forever. There is no real discussion about what happens if these two naturally grow apart, or if, since Tina Fey is essentially charged with raising human Ponyo, their bond becomes more sibling-like than romantic. They're together forever, no one sees foam, and David Bowie Liam Neeson still has hundreds of daughters to save from kidnapping. So I think I've made it clear that there is some real wacky imagery and ideas in this film, but maybe it is a slight exaggeration to say that this film is itself a horror movie. Maybe it's a matter of taste, and others could say that a giant spirit from the dark of the forest trying to lure a child with a dying mother into a bus made from the flesh of a cat is just as much a horror movie as this film. They're wrong, and they should keep my buddy Totoro's name out of their mouth, but I guess they could say it. What I am saying is, couldn't someone make a film with these exact same plot points and have it be absolutely horrifying? Think of it. A child adopts a fish, only for this fish to start developing more and more human-like characteristics. A voice, strange, not quite mammalian limbs, teeth. Eventually, this fish insists that she is in love with the child. Meanwhile, the sea itself seems determined to reclaim this creature. Natural disasters start occurring wherever she is, eliminating everything that's in its way. One of her creators seeks to take her back no matter the consequences. The other is happy to cause her demise if it means that nature rights itself. When she and the child are separated, she utilizes all powers at her disposal: super speed, transfiguration, control of the elements, and several giant fish monsters to stalk her love until they are reunited. And he will never lose track of her because, let's remember, she has tasted his blood. In the end, the child's mother is forced to make the heartbreaking choice to pledge herself and the son to this creature to save all of humanity. I'm not crazy, right? You could pitch this to A24. Our friend Google says, for works created after January 1st, 1978, copyright protection lasts for the life of the author plus an additional 70 years. I guess that's how long we have until someone decides to give Ponyo the same treatment as Winnie the Pooh and Steamboat Willie are currently getting and creates a true horror remake. Unless, of course, our esteemed Ghibli director Hayao Miyazaki gets Freaky Friday'd with the horror video game Hidetaka Miyazaki and things get real funky with their respective properties. But we're probably in for at least one more generation of people popping in what is advertised as a cute Japanese Finding Nemo, only to get a Little Mermaid meets The Fly that will scar them forever. But please let me know if I'm vastly overreacting and you actually found a fish with chicken legs adorable. And also, please let me know if there are any other Ghibli movies that you feel deserve a rarely provided trigger warning. Please. Go ahead and like and subscribe if you want to continue to follow me on my quest to see every Ghibli movie. And as always, have a delicious day.
Spooky, spooky, scary sea monsters. Spooky, spooky, I'm scared, so scared!